I suppose it's that immortality kind of thing that humans have, that sort of, as Charles Dickens once said, you know, that it's building an extension of yourself. It's rebuilding yourself outside yourself. Because we have this sort of inner need for immortality, because we know one day we're going to be dead.
The songs will live on.
A lot, that's what it is, I think. I think it's leaving something or building something outside yourself. And I think you just keep on building until you drop, because you don't know what building's going to be the best one to leave behind.
But normally people just leave kids.
Yeah. I don't think it's such a good idea. It's not always the best thing to do. You never know how they're going to grow up.
But it's an unusual statement, I think, because usually if you talk to people who've been famous or well-known for more than 20 years, they're sick and tired of that. They can't go out anywhere. It feels
but I think what they do is they tend to use that too much as an excuse. I think there are other reasons in their life that they're bothered with. I think they've had relationships that have gone sour. They've misjudged people. They've had very bad experiences. We all do. I've had bad experiences. But they've got those bad experiences in their personal life have gotten them down, and they tend to use the outside pressures of success or fame as the reason. And I think that's wrong. I think it's too easy to do that. And then there are many temptations in this business. A lot of people become alcoholics and they abuse drugs and things. We're very fortunate that any kind of abuse that we had was from a very early age and went through that. So we're not saints by any stretch of the imagination, but we're certainly clean now. And otherwise you just can't survive. But I think there are people who don't get through it. They don't survive, and some get lost by the wayside, some become vegetables, and some die, you know. But it's a horrid business to get yourself wrapped up in your own ego, and I think those are the kind of things that keep people drinking, keep people taking drugs, when they just can't deal with reality, their own reality, and they can't deal with other people. They have to drink the coffee.
Has your success given you something that you weren't aware you needed?
I don't know, because we've been doing it for so long. It's hard to know what I would have been doing if I had not been doing this. You see, if I'd have been something else before I became famous, if I had another job, like I'd grown into adulthood and had a job, then I would have known then what it would have given me then, because I would have had the chance to see what it was that I'd gone without. But because it was so early, growing up singing and writing, it's very hard to know what else I would have done or what the things I would have lacked.
You never thought of, if you were to lead another life,
I don't know what else I would do. Brain surgeon, perhaps.
Well, I wouldn't trust that.
Well, no, I'd try it. But
would you trust this man for a doctor?
I'd try it. No, I'd try it first.
Okay. The radio, I'm not really a top 40 type of person, so I don't drive my car with the radio on.
You watch TV in your car?
Yes, as a matter of fact. You'll be able to do that one day too.
You will.
Yes. But I watch a lot of television, particularly in America, where there are many, many channels. So I'm a sort of, there's a new culture in America now, which is the remote culture, you know, where you just keep flicking and you don't watch anything for longer than 5 minutes. So that's become my habit in the past years. I'll just lie in bed and just keep going, like, until I find something, and then I'll watch that for 5 minutes, then I'll start going again, you know. So through that, I draw I guess a synopsis of what's going on in life, from CNN to the sports channels to every now and again you pick up a little piece of music that's behind something, or an atmosphere from a situation going on television that might strike you as an idea for a song. But basically life, and nowadays life comes at you right through a camera.
When do you know if it's a good melody?
Well, my other brothers say that's good. No, you know, normally...
Democracy.
Well, yeah, I bounce it off them first. Because normally when we have a writing session, the three of us will come together and we'll all, you know, have different kinds of things going on in our heads, and one of us might have a melody and say, well, that's good, yeah, that's... Because it's like we like to write the choruses first. So if we get a good melody for a chorus film, that's pretty good, let's work on that.
Are you very disciplined when you write? Do you have do you say we have 3 hours every week, or do you sit down?
Well, we don't plan it that way. We'll say, for instance, if one of us isn't particularly 100% in a good mood, or you know, may have a bug or a virus or something, we won't write. We'll just say, we'll call it off, because the three of us have to be on top of the song, and it's the input of each brother that makes the song. So if one of us is a little off it, then forget it. We don't do that. But we don't make it a religious thing. We just say like, well, let's head for Wednesday, and let's try and get some, like when we started this new album, we a month up front, so we work Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. Sometimes Wednesday we go, I fancy a night off tonight, let's do it tomorrow. Oh, okay.
Somewhere that Bob Hope inspired your music, and that kind of took me by surprise. But now,
Yeah. I was talking about grass.
I know that.
But that was in the 60s, and somebody said to me, what inspires you sometimes to write songs? And I said Bob Hope, which meant dope, you know. So
Okay,
it
I
wasn't
see.
really.
Okay.
Nowadays, you wouldn't even say that, you know, you'd say something else. But and I don't take drugs anymore. So in those days,
What kind of drugs did you take?
in those days, just I used to smoke grass,
Mhm.
and I used to like amphetamines as a teenager. So, and this was during the sort of flower power days. So, but I won't defend it. I mean, everybody got on to that bandwagon at some point in their lives, you know.
What did your dad say?
Stop it! No, my father never knew.
He didn't. But wasn't he a major inspiration for the three of
Yeah.
you?
Of course he was. He was. He was a sort of a mentor because he was a big band drummer and used to have a big band during the war and work all the dance circuits during the war. So he was completely into music, and our mother was a band vocalist during the war. So there was a lot of music in the family before we came along. And his favorite group was the Mills Brothers. And that's 3-part harmony, 4-part harmony. So there was always Mills Brothers records being played around the house when we were little kids. So the 3-part harmony thing became something, we became attracted to that.
To be ambitious.
I just know of no other way. I wasn't brought up to be ambitious.
But are you? Or
Yeah.
were you?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call it ambition. I just have dreams and a knowledge that I simply have to make those dreams come true. Now, what you call that, I don't know.
But do you have any dreams that hasn't been fulfilled?
Many.
Like,
I'd like to be the back end of a horse, perhaps. No. But who knows if you try these things. In a pantomime, perhaps.
why
no,
the
no.
back end?
No.
I can't see that.
Yes. No, we have many dreams. We'd like to see more songs in films. We're forming our own record label so we can use our experience to maybe help younger acts or to get a break. And we can use our songs for that too. We're just trying to expand. We're following our dream. We'd like to produce films, which we've already started in a roundabout way doing. So there are many horizons for us. It's just down to how much we believe we can do. Quite eccentric. I think that's a good description. Have you interviewed him already?
No, I'm going to. I'm going to use it.
Okay. Maybe I'll ask you afterwards. Robin's quite eccentric, has a tremendous sense of humour, depending on what time of the day you catch him. Unfortunately, I think you're going to catch him at the wrong time. But hopefully, if you're kind to him, he's remarkably funny. If you say something that puts him on the defensive, he can be very abrasive. So, but apart from that, he's very soft, sensitive person. And but you're talking about one of two twins. They're both twins. So there's a passive and a dominant side to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I have to deal with that every day. Do you realize this? I have to deal with one of them being in charge at one moment and then the other one being in charge the next moment over the two twins, you know. And I'm the eldest brother, and I'm not allowed to be the eldest brother, so that's...
But then try and describe Morris, or the differences from Robin.
Oh yeah, very much so. Morris is very extrovert. Robin's introvert, but very funny. Morris is extrovert, but quite funny. And Morris is gadget crazy. Whilst Robin or me wouldn't go to a shop and buy any kind of a gadget or any kind of a computer or any kind of video game, Morris probably has everyone ever made. So there really is a radical difference between the three of us.
Yeah, I think we all have different personalities, but we all think alike in terms of, maybe because we've sang and written so long together, we tend to be able to sort of anticipate what the other's going to say and think at that time. When we're writing, we sit around a table with a cassette recorder in the middle and a keyboard and a guitar, and we'll have a 3-hour writing session just like that, shooting out ideas. I think Barry has a tendency to have an idea that he sticks to and goes one way. I'll change it and take him in another direction. And I think that's the good thing about writing together, is that you don't tend to be locked in on one idea. You think you have a great idea and you're locked in on it, and somebody comes up and says, well, no, don't go down that road, go down this road here and change it again. Don't make it so soft there, make it more aggressive. And, change the beat here. And I think then, I think it's a great way to write.
What about Morris?
Morris tends to respond more to... Me and Barry are the leading sort of forces in ideas, and we seem to be, an unstoppable force meeting an unmovable object. I have my own ideas, Barry has his own ideas, and, we argue about which way direction to go in, and we'll battle, but it's usually a constructive battle. And Morris is in the middle, so he'll take whatever the direction is that'll end out. He'll go with it. But he's creative in a different way.
All right, Barry, if you like. Very talented, sensitive, great sense of humour. Once again, lately, nothing's a big deal anymore. He's very cool. He's very relaxed. Multi-talented. Robin, a bit paranoid sometimes. Perfectionist. Very talented. Incredible voice. But both of them have got incredible voices. Very creative. Sensitive too. And most of all, I think we're each other's best friends. So it's I would say, a lot of love, the two of them.
There must have been a major problem with being brothers.
Well, if there is, I haven't come across it yet. I think the wonderful thing, particularly with during my drinking recovery, if you like, totally supportive, always there for me. For instance, when we started on an album at that time, each one of them said, until I get it together, they wouldn't write a note. And they waited 3 months before we actually wrote a song for the new album at that time. And that was being loyal, and that was being supportive.
So you've got a triangle chemistry.
Yeah. I think being each other's best friends, as I say, is because we've always been together all the years, and even when we're separated, it's like we have I know when the phone goes, I know it's Robin. And if the phone goes, I know it's Barry. It could be any time, and I know. We all have this... In fact, Robin and I are actually in the Twins book, which is a big book on twins who have things that happen to them. Because he had a bicycle accident once and came home and I had the bruises all over me in the same places.
You did?
Yeah. And he had bruised himself falling off the bike. I was in the bath at the time. And I got out of the bath and I'm drying myself and I looked down, I had bruises here, there, on my shoulder, and 2 on my chest here. And he came back from the hospital, he had 2 bruises there, bruise there, bruise there, bruise there, bruise here. All in the same places. The only thing was his eye wasn't hurting. He was.
So if you wake up in the middle of the night, hear a song, he wakes up too and sing it.
No, he'll wake up and have an idea and call me. And I'll know it's him. But, and I'll know it's Barry. The 3 of us are very much the same.
Are you superstitious?
No.
It's just there.
It's just there. It's just been going on for years.
It can't be explained.